Hello, this is a Canvas course walkthrough video where I will walk you through different parts of the course to help you find your way around before we get started this semester. So when you go to the home page for this class, you will notice a few items. First, menu items on the left side, recent announcements. Whenever I send out an announcement, they will appear here. Also, a to-do list on the right side. Any activity we do that has a due date will show up here. And then also the center area with a few important sections. First, this week. I will update this week with different activities and links as we move through the semester. I'll typically update these on Fridays. So if you want to know what's coming up in the following week, just check on Friday and you'll see there will be fresh content there. Also, a heads up section where I make announcements. Also, our class, which is only a feature for a few of my classes and something I'm trying out right now. Not quite done. Also, an easy to reference section where I have some quick links that will move you around the class. More on those in a moment. And then semester at a glance. In the semester at a glance section, I will list every single activity we'll do for the entire semester so you can see where everything fits together. In this semester at a glance section, you'll see all of our weeklies, any of our modules, also the activities we'll do in those modules. And in this class, there are two unique columns, one of them called Deep Dive for a book we read, and then also a Design Basics section. You'll notice the color coding here indicates that Module 2, Self, Characteristics and Behavior, starts on September 6th in week 3 and goes all the way through week 6, which ends in October 1st. So at a glance, you can see the entire semester and how all of it works together. The home page is a helpful source for you to get your bearings every week and then also check up on where we are throughout the semester. Announcements are a simple listing of all those announcements that I'll make, and then modules. Modules are the most important view in our class. They will show our activities as we move through the semester week by week. Modules are groupings of content that align with a project or a kind of idea. In this class, the Module 2, Self, Characteristics and Behavior, are all of the activities we do for this project called Menial Tasks. Think of modules as a grouping for a big project or a big idea. They group the weeks. They're not sliced by week. Rather, they show all of the stuff for an idea like a project in one big view. As we go through the semester, a lot of times you'll hear me say things like, okay, we're in Module 2 in week 4. Check this out. Here's a few other modules, such as course reference. This is simply information for you as we get started, as well as course and assignment questions. This discussion is a very unique and important one I want you to pay attention to. Course and assignment questions is a place for you to post any kind of questions you have as we move through the semester. Questions could include a problem with the class, or question about the content or an assignment we're using at the same time. So course and assignment questions is you raising your hand, just like we were in a physical class, so everyone else can see the answer. The nice thing is the question you ask may be a question someone else had. They just didn't know to ask it. So please post in course and assignment questions anytime you have a question, and I will be quick to respond. Going back to modules, you'll see there's an opening week module for this class that are activities for that opening week. There's a deep dive module. This is a special one that spans throughout the semester. Anytime I put a number on a module, it will be a sequential module that will move us through the semester. Anytime I use a lettered code, it's going to be special. It may span weeks or have some other kind of special function. The ones we'll use most are the numbered ones. For example, Module 2, Self, Characteristics and Behavior, and Week 4. So all of my modules will be organized this way. First, you'll see a subhead. Week 4, September 13th through 17th. So we know what week we're in. There will be a This Week assignment, which is simply a way for me to introduce what's coming up in the coming week and also to reflect on what's in the past. There's nothing to turn in for this week assignments. They're simply a way for me to do an announcement that holds information about what we're working on in class in the following week. Any activities we're doing, which in this week it looks like we've got a reading, and then we have a post to a critique, and then a reflection. Reflections will happen every week at the end of the week, and it's your chance to reflect on what you're learning and a chance for me to also learn a bit about your progress and to give some feedback in a very limited kind of way. So if you have a question where we are throughout the semester, just look for the week header and then check out the activities inside it. Here's a quick look at this week. Let's say this week, week 2. And this week assignment, I had a reflection on what we did the previous week, and then also a few questions for the coming week. Read these every week. It's a place for me to say, okay, before you start your work for the coming week, I want you to have this in mind. If you read these and pay attention to the content that I'm sharing, it might help you to better understand where I want your mind to be as we work ahead together in the following week. So we zip back over to modules, and you'll see again, we've got our modules that are numbered and then also those week divisions. For this module, there is a final project at the bottom of the module. Let me talk about a project or an assignment sheet. Every project or assignment sheet will have about the same structure. An at-a-glance section, which gives you a brief overview. Deliverables, which lists exactly what I want you to turn in for this assignment. If you ever have a question of what you're supposed to turn in, look to deliverables. That's where the information will be living. In this case, at least 3 views of the design outcomes. You'll see I tell you what format they should be in, where to turn it in this case, a Miro board, and then also who has to do the assignment. There's a why are we doing this section. Sometimes I may ask you to do activities in this class that you're not quite sure why we're doing it. I believe in being transparent with you, with sharing why this is going to matter. I don't want to waste your time ever, but I also want you to know what we're working on. So you can always check out why are we doing this to learn how it all fits together. Information about the assignment, parameters, which gives you details like where to place your work and other details. Process, which walks you through every step of the assignment. Technology and materials, and grading. Let me talk about learning outcomes. In every grading section, you will see some learning outcomes. These outcomes are the things I am going to grade. Specifically, the kind of things you'll learn after doing this assignment. In this assignment, let's look at an example. Create an outcome whose elements are stylistically cohesive. So for this assignment, I want everyone to make items that all hold together in their look or feel or sound or however they're making them. They should be cohesive stylistically. So if you created outcomes, let's say app designs and maybe a poster or something like that, and they all looked consistent, like beautifully, the typography was consistent, or the motion design was all the same from every step, that would be exemplary work. If you went above and beyond, it means you'd receive 5 points for that learning outcome. Mastery is worth 4.5 points, and then on down. So under grading, if you ever have a question of what I'm going to grade, there they are. If it's not a learning outcome, I will not evaluate it. I will only evaluate what's listed in that section there. Multiple intelligences, which walks you through some of the intelligences I'll give feedback on but are never graded. Any risk bonus that might be there. Examples, which you can click on to see examples of this assignment to guide you through, as well as references and related, where I might have separate pages that will help you help prepare you for the assignment, and then any kind of caution or go big box at the end. Learning outcomes are also listed at the bottom in our rubric, in this case, a studio project. So that's a brief look at any kind of assignment or project and what boxes to look for. The big ones are deliverables, what do you have to turn in, process, what are the steps, and under grading, those learning outcomes, what I will evaluate and how the points will work. If you go to, actually we were just in modules and I clicked on that, and you'll notice that this assignment, this project also has multiple parts, and they are all due on October 5th. Oftentimes I'll do an assignment with multiple turn-ins, so look carefully for those to make sure you get all of them turned in. Under assignments, the assignments view is a little different than modules. While modules group items by project or group them by idea, kind of like me standing up in front of class and it's like, okay, everybody, now let's move on to this new module with all this different kind of content, and it's all grouped together. Assignments functions very differently. The Assignments tab simply lists every single assignment for the class. If I click on Show by Date, you'll see all of the assignments in order. So if you ever wonder, what do I have to turn in? It's listed right there in Assignments. Assignments will never list the things like the this week as far as the headers and all of that stuff. It's not chronological like walking through a class. It's simply the bare bones listing of all the stuff. So again, if you want to see what stuff you got to turn in, go to Assignments. If you want to follow the flow of the class from week to week, use modules. Here in Assignments, you can also click on Show by Type. When I do that, I'll see all of the assignments are grouped by the type of assignment they are. In this class, it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types. First, weekly reflections. Here are all of my weekly reflections listed in the in this view, and then you'll notice all of those assignments combined are worth 5% of the grade. All the assignments under discussion and critique are worth 5%. All of them under menial tasks are worth 35%. And it looks like the Inside Out project, which has a bunch of parts, is worth 55% of the grade. Anything in our class that's not graded will be under ungraded activities, which are 0%. So again, assignments show you all of the parts you have to do throughout the semester, and it shows them grouped by percentage groupings. So you can plan for what items are most important for your grade. Discussions is a quick jump to any discussions we do in the class. Grades is a chance for you to see what grades you've turned in, what grades you've earned, and then also that weighting. And then people, outcomes, and others are pretty self-explanatory, except for syllabus, which under syllabus, you'll get all of the policies for the class. At the bottom of the syllabus, you'll also see every activity and its due date listed down below. So if you want to see what we're doing in class and when it's due, you can go to Assignments or you can go to Syllabus, and you'll see those listed in those same two spots. So that's a quick look at all of our menu items on the left, one of our assignments for our class, and then how things are grouped. Modules are the flow from week to week, and assignments are the bare bones listing. You may also want to check out the calendar view, which many students have shared is really helpful for their course planning. In this case, I'm in Art 650, which is called Experience Design Studio, and you'll see every assignment is listed in a calendar view. So you can go from month to month and you can see each of these items change, and then you can jump to those specific days to see them in relationship with one another. So if you ever want to see your semester at a glance, or if you're a visual learner, then check out the calendar view, because you'll see each of your classes have their own color coding. One important thing under dashboard, which unfortunately Student View won't let me do, would be your listing of courses. So under dashboard, you'll see each of your courses listed in their own boxes, and I put images on my classes. So you'll see images and lettered codes. There is a hamburger menu, 3 dots, that is on every box, every course box into the dashboard. If you click on those 3 dots, you can rename your class to the words for the class instead of the number of the class. If you're like me, I'm not very good at remembering like 627, 626, 651, and all those course numbers. So when I go to the dashboard, I click on the 3 dots inside each course's little box. I type in the actual name of the class. It helps me to keep things straight. I wish I could show you that view, but unfortunately, it's not allowed in Student View. That's a usability thing I would improve if I were designing Canvas. So there's a quick overview of Canvas. I hope that helps walk you through where everything is, also where what each of these items do, and most importantly, what modules and assignments do uniquely. If you go under Account, double check your preferences for notifications, because you can set up having every announcement emailed to you, having due dates emailed to you, grades announced emailed to you, or other means of receiving information. If you have a question ever in class, please ask. Use course and assignment questions, or if you need to, email me. I am here to help. I'm excited to work with you this semester, so let's dig in.